Well, I'm Pastor Michael from Columbus Evangelical Church. Thanks for joining us. This training video is going to be for ProPresenter 7, and it's how to set up a service. How do you add slides and lyrics and videos and sermon notes and those sorts of things? How do you set up a service? So let's dive into it. If this is the first video you've seen, there's actually a video that comes before this of how to operate ProPresenter. And I talk through just some of the basic commands, some of the features of ProPresenter. We'll cover a couple of those things in review as we're moving through it. But let's take a look. As we have it right here, we've got a service open when we open up ProPresenter, but we want to create a whole new service. So we remember that if you wanted to go to a pre-existing service, you could just click on it and then be able to edit the objects inside that service. But let's create a new service. Let's say it's going to be December 17th. So I'm going to take this December 12th and I'm just going to duplicate it. And the reason why we would duplicate it is because then it will keep all this formatting that's already been pre-built for us. So it makes it easier. You don't have to add in pre-service slides, post-service slides, all the outline. So that makes it easier. It labels the new service December 12th-1. So we're going to rename that service, and I'm just right-clicking on that service and going to duplicate to create the copy, and then I'm going to right-click and go to rename. And what did we say? December 17th. Perfect. And I can even drag this up so that they're in order, all nice. And then I'll click on that service, and you'll notice it has the exact same elements in it as December 12th. So I'm going to click on December 17th. I'll click inside of this service just by clicking on one of these elements inside here. And I am going to just delete these songs out of there because those aren't the songs I'm going to be singing. Let's see here. There we go. So the songs are out of there now. And what's only left is basically that 9 a.m., 11 a.m. trigger, the pre-service slideshow, welcome, sermon slide notes, which will get entered in for you, hopefully. But I'll show you how to do that in case you need to do some work on those. And then the post-service slide area. So we need to add some songs. And there's two different ways to add songs. So the two different ways to add a song to this Sunday playlist. One of the ways is that song has already been pre-created and it's already in our computer's library. If that's the case, we can go to search and, well, let's see here. Let's look up Amazing Grace. And on this left side, it shows you what's already in ProPresenter library. So you'll click that. It should come, usually the first time you do a search, it'll already be selected. And then we'll go My Chains Are Gone, or the Chris Chalman version, or the regular Amazing Grace. I'm going to do the regular Amazing Grace, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm holding it down. So I clicked it, and I'm holding it down, and I'm going to come over and just drag it into this service. There you go. That song is now in this service. Cool. So let's see the second method for adding a song to your Sunday playlist. And this method, similar to how we did Amazing Grace, basically we're going to go up to search again. And we're going to go to search, and the song I'm looking for is Glory to Glory. And I noticed that when I type it in, it's nowhere in the library of this computer library. So that little tab right there is our computer's library, and it's not pre-made in here anywhere. If I was to do a different song, it probably, like Holy Spirit. Oh yeah, there it is. Look, there it is right there. So there's a lot of songs that are made in there already. And once you import that song, it's in your library. So that's cool. So basically, there's a little bit of work that happens the very first time you play a song. And to import the song, the easiest way is through Song Select. So it's this button over here. and I'll click that, and it will give me a list of all the different songs that have that similar title. And you'll notice there's a whole bunch of different authors in there, different versions. Apparently this is a really popular name for a song, but I happen to know the artist who sings this. The one I'm looking for is this one right here. So I'm going to click it, and I can see the lyrics. Okay, I believe all they go. Yep, this is the one. So then I'm going to click import. And that's how I can import this song into the library of the computer. And this is the easiest way. It pulls it from Song Select on the internet. And these settings right here are pre-set up to be approximately what you need. But you can always click edit at this point and just double check that this is in fact the song you're looking for. Okay, it looks pretty close. I usually don't make any changes at this point. I usually just import the song. Now I need to go to search, and if I search the library, there it is. It's been imported. I imported it from Song Select Online. Now it's available in this library. So I'll take this Glory to Glory, and I'm going to drag it in. Okay, now I have 2 songs in here, and you'll notice that the one that I imported has all sorts of crazy fonts and maybe doesn't look the way that we wanted it to. So I'm going to select all those slides, and we use a theme, and what it does is those themes format the text for you, and the theme you're going to want to use is normal white text, white text. Hopefully that's kind of straightforward. Themes, normal white text, white text. It's just the first one here, and there's tons of different themes. It's not that you couldn't use any of these other themes in there or really make it look different. This is just the typical standard one we use on a Sunday morning. If you want to do something special, cool. But this is the formatting that'll make it look most familiar, like what these other songs look like with that formatting. Now, there's still some interesting features to this because we're noticing that at least this song I imported, there's usually like a few lines. It's kind of broken up through the song, and you notice there's lots of lines on here. So there's 2 different ways you can edit that song at this point. You can right click and go to quick edit, and this is kind of an easy way to just add a spelling change, a slight word, something like that on the slide. But the other way to make an edit to this is to select that slide and then go to edit, actual edit tab up here. And these tabs up here are going to change the layout of the screen because you're going to go into editing mode. Right now you're in the show mode, right, for running a service. We're going to go in the edit mode, and from here I could do lots of edits, right? I could change the slide around, lots of words. I could recenter it if I needed to. So there's edits I can make to the slide here, but that's not exactly what I want to do either. I want to try to put some of these words onto different slides. I want to I want to break up this slide. There's too many words on this slide. So if I'm not trying to add words in there or completely change it, I would go to Reflow. So this is one so we go from show mode to edit mode to Reflow, or you can just switch between them. But these are the different modes that kind of give you different tools to use. And now at this point, I can break up the slides a little bit. So I believe you start, you complete. Okay, that's where I want to insert a slide break right down here. So I can insert slide break. Okay. Glory, 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 glory. Okay, and then I want to break it up there too. And I believe. And if I want to move that to the next line, I can just do like a return. I can change the order around. So this reflow mode is really, really helpful if you just need to change and break up the slides and change the actual layout of those slides a bit for the ordering and the flow. But the edit mode is handy if you need to like, oh man, I need to like type in something or change, they use the wrong word in that sentence or whatever. That can be handy there as well. So I'm going to just break up. Let's see here. So the shortcut to bring it to the next slide is Control Enter, or you can just click this Insert Slide Break. I use either one. So I'm just going to kind of clean up this a little bit. 1,000 things, and we'll just go down wrong. There we go. We'll kind of break this up a little bit so that the words are a little better spaced. There. So there we go. So I've changed those words around so that they're kind of broken up. And you get the preview of it over here. And I noticed that when it says, I will see it when I believe it. So I'm actually going to change that. There we go. That looks a little bit better over here. So you get the previews of what those slides will look like up on the screen. I'm going to actually break that into two right there. So at this point, you basically create all of your Lego pieces that you need. So you create chorus 1, verse 2, bridge, and if I need at this point to create, say, a tag, so I'm going to go all my faith in you, okay? And then at this point, what it did is it added that tagline I was trying to do to the bridge. And if I click on this button right here, and I go over to group, I can change the grouping of it to tag, just like that. So now I've created a tag. Or what I often do on almost every song that we import is I'll add 2 blank slides at the end, and I'll make one of them the background and one of them the blank slide. So again, to change, if this was not the bridge, if it was something different, I would go and I would go to group and I would change it to whatever, maybe I want to call it bridge 1 or bridge 2 or whatnot if there's different variations in the song. But you would go to group and change the group around. And that's how you get what you need. So the order right now might not be in the right order over here, right? That's okay. We just need to create all the Lego pieces, the building blocks with this reflow. Then we'll go into the show, and to change the actual structure of the song so that it flows in the way that we want, because maybe I want this background slide up at the front, I'm going to click these 3 little dots that arrangements. And when I click the arrangements, sometimes it's already dropped down. The master arrangement just has all the basic building blocks there, and I want to create a new arrangement, and I'm going to call it Michael because I'm the one playing this song. And from here, it will save that arrangement for me. So that way, if you have multiple worship teams sing the same song in different styles and different orders, you can really easily drag that song in, and then you can just click it and switch between different versions. You don't have to, like, one band plays with 2 choruses, one band plays with 1 chorus. Really easy to be able to organize them. So I'm going to change the order here. I'm going to go to verse 1 chorus, verse 2 chorus, bridge, and then I'm going to do a chorus and a tag, and I'm going to put the background at the front. So I can drag these elements around right here, and this is the reason why we group them. Why we go through that effort of doing that reflow to make sure it lines up good and all those elements, because then it's really easy to change the order of the song. Oh, nope, today we're not doing verse 2. Boom, no verse 2. Oh, wait, I want the verse 2 back in there that fast to be able to change the formatting. So once that song has been imported into the library of the computer, it makes it really easy to work with and adjust. And it saves these settings automatically when you close PowerPoint. That way, in the future, man, you just open it up and you're ready to roll. Very easy. And then if you get tired of looking at that, you can close that. But that's how you get those options right there on that little 3-button tab to change the ordering. And with that, we've added a song. Bingo. That fast. That easy. So we've added a song here. Let's go back to Amazing Grace, because let's say we want to change the ordering. Let's go to arrangements. And you'll notice that this one's called Special Service. I could add a new arrangement to this, and let's just call it normal. And in the normal one, maybe we don't sing verse 3 or verse 4. We only have to sing the first 2 verses of Amazing Grace when we sing it. So that's how easily you could go from normal to a special service, and then back to normal. If you have different worship teams, makes it very easy and straightforward to organize your songs. If I needed to change the order of the songs, over here I can take them and grab them back and forth and be able to move them around. And that is how you'd add a song. Now, let us assume briefly that when you go to import a song, say I wanted to import a song named Shadow Step, and I notice that I do not have it in the library, right, this first one, and then sure enough, yeah, it's there. It's a Hillsong United song. So it's there. I could just click this one button and import it that easily. But let's say it's not there, right? And I would like this song to be part of my song library. Maybe it's an older hymn that's not on Song Select. Some songs are not on Song Select. So what I would do is I would get that song and just have it saved in a text document. I just get the lyrics to the song. And from here, if you have like a document with the lyrics saved in there, perfect. It's very easy to import them. You'll highlight all the lyrics that you want, all the lyrics that you need, and I'm just going to copy. So I'm going to copy them right there. And this method of importing the song, you'll go to File, Import, Text from Clipboard. So File, Import, Text from Clipboard. And it's as long as you just copied that information, when you go to Text from Clipboard, now it shows this same import window that you would have if you downloaded it from Song Select online. But you can even click Edit and you can see, oh, look, it's the same. It's like it imported all the song. There's all the lyrics right there. And it's broken up, and I can change the title if I want. Shadow Step. I don't remember all the CCLI. Hopefully you've got all those information there, but I'm just going to import it. Boom. There we go. So from here, if I go to search and I search in my library and say Shadow Step, there it is right there. Sure enough, and I can import it, and I go and click on it, and it's just like before. I highlight, go to themes, and for us, we're going to use normal white text. And then I would go through the exact same methods that we did before. You could go to edit and change anything you need to edit if there's misspellings or something weird like that. Or you can go to that reflow. And from here, because we copied and pasted it in, it didn't automatically format what the groups are. So I'd maybe have to say this is verse 1, then where does it break? I can't remember the song. So let's just say this is the pre-chorus. So I've got a pre-chorus there, and then if you work from top to bottom, you'll notice that it starts to break up the text. We'll say this is the chorus, and so on and so forth. We would work through this whole document. You'd split up the lines on different pages, and this is sort of the busy work of importing a song, copy and paste. The nice part about doing it off of Song Select, if you are able to, is it would do some of this extra work for you automatically. And again, at the very bottom, I usually would add 2 blank slides. So insert slide break, insert slide break, and then I would just make one of them the background and one of them a blank slide. And then from there, we can go back to the show and be able to edit our text around and create a mix. And that is the process for importing a song and getting it laid out in a manner that will work. So you hopefully have it in the library. You just drag it in. Otherwise, you'll import that song. You'll change the theme. Then you'll go through and do some of that edit and reflow work. Edit if you need to, any of the lyrics, and then do that reflow. That way it's easy to make an arrangement here for your worship team. Okay, so we have our songs in there. Now, how do we add a little bit of sparkle? or if you sparkle, if you want to do a background image or something like that, if you want to do some additions to this base song, because remember in ProPresenter we have the lyrics, and what we just created is we created these slide elements. But let's say I want to add a background element to run behind these slides. And to open up those media options, we're going to click on this button in the upper right-hand corner called Media. And that's the media bin. It shows you all the different options you got. And you notice there's a ton of folders in here. These different folders have different types of background images in them. So for example, it opened up to ProPresenter Sermon, so that you'll notice there's a lot of sermon logos in here from recent sermons. There's announcement videos that we've got. Advent, winter themed backgrounds, and there's tons of them in here. And we've got like abstract, which is more like just colors and shapes. Anyways, there's a ton in here. Zion National Park, background packs. This is a good one to go to because all these in this background pack are all themed. So you've got multiple different backgrounds that are all themed together, so you can rotate through them. And, oh, I like these right here. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. So I would like this to be the background, and that's why we incorporate that background image, right? That background slide in ours right there. You could just put it in the background and it would do two things at once. The second you start this slide, it would throw those lyrics up there. If you need to remove them, I can go remove action there. So I like to put it on its own slide, because what ends up happening is then you can transition, and oftentimes there's like a down moment between the songs, so you can put that new background up and then you can start the first lyrics of the song. If I scroll down and let's say this song I want a different background on, well, I could throw a different background on that one right there, and it would transition between them and be able to work that way. So this is how you can access your different background images that you have for those different medium backgrounds. And again, to open or close that bin, those options. At this point as well, one of the things as you're creating the lyric song lyric slides, if you need to have this, say this is our call to worship is Amazing Grace, and then our main worship set is Glory, Glory, and then we have our sermon. So we only have two songs in this slideshow. What ends up happening is you click this first pre-service slideshow, and it rolls through, and then when you click this slide, you notice it's there, but it's in the background. Remember, we had this phenomenon where the announcements go over the top of these slides right here. So that's the announcements will go over the top. And so what we want to do is we need to add a clear all to this very first slide. Otherwise, what we would need to do is we just need to hit this button and then start the background. So if I go to add action, I can add an action, clear, and I am just going to click on clear, clear group, clear all. There you go. That easy. Or I could make this action more customized and clear particular aspects. So I could clear the media background. You'll notice that every action I have, clear media, clear all, raise hallelujah, the background image, all those different actions, if I need to remove them, I can go to remove actions and I can remove them from that slide as well. And this is again why we don't want to skip slides during the services. We want to hit all the slides, is just because sometimes there's an action like clear all. The other aspect that sometimes happens, this happens in particular a lot with Summer's worship team, is sometimes they will have a background pad. And so these are audio tracks that run in the background, and you might see one with that little symbol right there. So you can always grab whatever one you need in whatever key. Here's tons of different audio tracks. Sometimes if this is a solo worship song and someone's singing to an audio track, an MP3 file, you can take that audio track and drag it onto that media object that starts that song. And so when you click this first slide, you'll notice that it'll start that worship track in the background. You can kind of hear it playing. And then you could go through your song slides. And again, if the audio you're thinking of is layers, I can clear that audio layer out right there. And it would be the top layer here is audio. And so all the different aspects you can add into your slide for your songs are all added as layers. All right, with that, you have all the pieces you need to be able to import, to create a worship set, to import all the songs you need, whether you're doing it from Song Select Online or from the computer's library, they're pre-made, how to reorganize them. If you have any questions or anything like that, please reach out to me and ask. And now it's time to figure out, how do we add Bible verses? This is another aspect. Oftentimes I'll help doing this portion of it. I'll be around that morning. Sunday morning before the service is often when I add them in here. And sometimes I do them, sometimes you might be doing them. So if you would like to learn how to add a Bible verse, I'll show you real quick. Otherwise, you can scroll ahead in this video. But to add a Bible verse, oftentimes they're going to be during the sermon notes time period. And you'll notice that we have these verses right here. And I don't really want those verses, so I'm going to highlight those slides and just delete those slides. Now I would go to Bible to get into the Bible tab, right? So you've got these different menus that you can click on, and I would click to Bible, and let's say I want to do Colossians 4:2. I'm doing a message on prayer. And oh, looky there, devote yourselves to prayer, being thankful, being watchful and thankful. So in this example, I'm using the NIV version, the New International Version. That is the only version right now that we've purchased. If we end up using a lot of other versions like ESV or New King James or something like that, then we might purchase other ones. But for the moment, we typically use New International Version. That's the version that we have purchased as of this date. So what I can do is I can highlight that text, I can copy that slide, and it comes pre-formatted for you. That part has already been made for you. And then you'll click that show. So we're going to go back to the show. So we're on Bible. We're going to go to show. And then I can right-click and paste into the slideshow. And there it is right there. And I'm going to drag it in between these two Ruths. If I for some reason needed to add another Ruth, I can go copy, paste, and often what I end up doing is I'll have the sermon logo, then mid-service I'll have the lyrics that I would put over the top. But notice what happens when I click these lyrics. They go over the top of the Ruth logo. And the reason for that is because you can think of it as the layers, right? It's got the media, and then it's got the slide image, just like lyrics to a song. It treats Bible verses like lyrics to songs. They're formatted in similar ways. So what I would need to do so that it doesn't overlap like that is I would just need to add a clear group, clear all. And if I add that to that lyric slide, instead what will happen is when I trigger this slide for these lyrics, it will clear all first, then put the slide up. And it displays the slide on a black background that way. So you could do that same task with all the different verses you need. Let's say I wanted, now I want to read verses 3 through 7. It puts each verse on a different slide. I can select them all, copy, go back to the slideshow, and I'm right-clicking on one of these slides, and then I'm going to paste. And it imports them in there, and I can drag slides around, and then again, I would need to just make sure that first slide in the set has a clear all on it. Clear all. All right, well with that, you are armed and ready to start importing songs, to import Bible verses, to create new services, to edit those songs. So I hope that kind of gives you what you need to be able to help start setting up some worship services, to build those services, and to understand better how ProPresenter runs and functions. Thank you so much for your service in helping just make our Sunday services function smoothly and to really assist us in bringing our worship to God as we know the words that we can sing together and in harmony to just celebrate our beautiful Creator. Now, if you would like, there is another video after this one that speaks a little bit more to some of the specific issues and problems that sometimes pop up on ProPresenter for our church system. So it talks you through some of the troubleshooting issues. And with that video too, you can just scroll through and find the exact issue you're looking for if you just browse those chapters of the video. All right, have a great week.